Hey guys, Rich here, and we are going to Ranger Antique Airfield in Texas today. And I really couldn't ask for a better day to fly. If I scroll out here, the winds are moderate, temperatures are good, there's no clouds. We're at 5,200 feet right now and climbing, and skies are just smooth as glass. So people have been asking me about the short wings and the effect they have on the flight characteristics. And I gotta say, it's noticeable. The biggest deal is that it's smoother in turbulence. It does roll a little bit faster as well. But people have also been asking about speed increases. So here I am at 8,500 level flight. True airspeed is 131, and my speed over the ground is 134. So that's about 10 or 15 knots faster than 2 Tango Foxtrot was. So I guess that's not nothing. What is that, maybe 8%? Is it game-changing? I don't know if it's game-changing, but on a day like this where I'm going 7.5 hours, taking an hour off of that, I'll take it. So we're going to do a change of plans. We were going to Kilo 52, Monroe City, and we've made good time. So I think what we're going to do is adjust our flight plan to go to M17. And we'll move that over here. By doing that, we can make it another hour down the road before we refuel. We'll land with about an hour reserve still. Be able to make this a one-stop trip instead of a two-stop trip. So we'll see.
Past the Mississippi River on the way. It's an incredibly important commercial river, making the grain belt viable due to inexpensive shipping to the global market. This river discharges almost 17,000 cubic meters of water per second into the Gulf of Mexico after draining about 40% of the continental U.S. and is the third largest river basin in the world.
Flying over Mark Twain Lake right now. You read about the water shortages out west, but we don't have that here. This one's something that I think is kind of amusing. There's a lake coming up called Pomme de Terre. As any subscribers know, my French is just awesome. But that's one of the few words that I do know. I learned the phrase, il me dit parce que je suis un pomme de terre. I'll check the comments and see if anybody can figure out the whole phrase, but pomme de terre means potato. Pull over traffic, Molly, 1 Whiskey Tango, 10 miles to the northeast. We'll enter a pattern for runway 36, pull over. Okay, got the runway in sight. Right there. So we have another 2,700 feet to lose to get the pattern. So we have some traffic departing 36, which in principle is kind of coming straight at us. I haven't seen him yet though. And boulevard traffic, 81 Whiskey Tango, 4 miles. Directly north now, we'll enter pattern for runway 36, Boulevard.
Baltimore Municipal Airport. Automated advisory. Wind variable from 320 through 030 at 5. Altimeter 3021.
Okay, gas is on both.
Boulevard traffic, Belanca 28060, taking runway 36. We're going to be straight out north. Boulevard traffic.
Yeah, Boulevard traffic, Air Care Team, helicopter, we are currently 4 miles east of the field, inbound 2,200, and we can go direct to ramp or we can enter right traffic for 36, either one.
Boulevard traffic, 81 Whiskey Tango, entering left downwind runway 36, Boulevard.
Second aircraft inbound, what's your ETA?
We can get down pretty quickly. We're a stall, so I can be down in a couple minutes, or I can wait for you. Either way works for me.
Well, we can land here in about a minute and a half, and we can go direct to the ramp so we can get out of your way pretty quick.
Airport is yours.
Yeah, Boulevard traffic, Air Care 2, helicopter, we're 2 miles east of the field, and we're going to be direct to the ramp. We've got departing traffic in sight, descending below 2,000, Boulevard.
And the mall on downwind has a helicopter as well. Boulevard traffic, A1 Whiskey Tango, turning final 36, helicopter in sight. Boulevard traffic, malls, clear the runway.
Hey, Bolivar traffic, Air Code 2, that stop lane, are you guys in line for gas?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you the same.
Yeah, if you don't mind, we'll be hot gas. We'll be in and out pretty quick.
Yeah, have at it.
I'm not sure how close you want to be whenever I hop over there. Yeah, I appreciate it, boss.
Yeah, you bet. Well, now I got the twin in my way. Just playing Tetris here. Okay, we're trying to make it to Ranger now without having to do another stop. We've got 3 hours left to go. And if we take 48 gallons of fuel remaining divided by, we're burning 12 an hour right now, then we come up with 4. So that gives us plenty of reserves. So hopefully we're going to be able to make it. Let's see. Ranger traffic, Great Mall, 10 miles to the northeast, inbound landing, Ranger.
Ranger traffic, White Debonair, about 10 to the northeast, inbound for 19 Ranger.
Ranger traffic, Great Mall is now 5 to the northeast, inbound landing, Ranger.
Ranger traffic, Triple Tail Blanca, 10 south, I'll be landing Ranger.
Ranger traffic, Skyhawk 6-3 uniform, 12 to the west, I'll cross midfield first, then 19, Ranger.
Ranger traffic, White Debonair, 7 miles to the northwest, inbound northeast, inbound for 19 Ranger.
So Debonair, have that mall in front of you in sight yet?
I'm looking for you, not yet.
And Ranger traffic, Gray Mall is now 3 miles to the northeast. Enter a 45-degree downwind for runway 19. Ranger. Ranger traffic, Gray Mall turning left base, 19, Ranger.
Ranger traffic, Triple Tail Blanca, 5 south, I'll be landing Ranger. Debonair, state your position, please.
Currently about 2 miles to the southeast, Ranger.
Well, I ought to be seeing you. I'm planning on coming in behind you.
Roger that. To be completely honest, I am not seeing the airport, Ranger.
Mall is touching down now if you get me on your ADSB.
Yeah, you're on my ADSB.
Continue all the way to the north, Maul.
Look up.
Maul, do you see the white experimental with the Texas flag on the propeller?
Hey, firm.
All right, just go to the left of it and then come around and put your left wingtip over his right.
Look up.
Good to see you, Rich.
Triple Tail Blanca on final in Ranger.
Is this where you want me, Jared?
Yes, sir, that'll work. Can fit one more between you and the Luscombe there.
As evening sets in, the final arrivals for the first night land at this special place. Having been here since 1911 and the third oldest airport in the entire state, it's only fitting that every summer the skies are filled with the sounds of old engines clawing their way through the skies as aviators from much of the US and even Mexico make a pilgrimage to an event that someone at the fly-in called, quote, the most amazing fly-in with the best host anywhere. The golden light of dawn arrives and sets the stage perfectly for a day of wandering around looking at classic airplanes. But that's not something to be done on an empty stomach. Dozens of volunteers work together to make multiple tasty meals during the course of the weekend, starting with eggs, pancakes, and bacon on morning one before we go out to watch the arrivals for the day. Of course, some eyes are more critical than others.
Okay, so we've got stable approach, little long,
Soon enough, it's time for meal number 2 at a hangar that once housed Amelia Earhart and her autogyro when she passed through in 1931. The biggest challenge was figuring out when to join the line. For nearly 2 hours, the volunteers kept cooking and serving a seemingly insatiable wave of hungry aviation nuts. Finally, the day wrapped up with dozens of pilots hanging out around a roaring fire, telling stories, and enjoying the opportunity to be around like-minded people. A long time ago, I did a project in Tokyo, and there are certain foods that I really miss. We once had a 5-course meal entirely of fugu. And of course, ramen and soba was amazing and plentiful. Today, while we're camping at Ranger, I'm going to try and make some gyoza, or fried Japanese dumplings. First, 3 cabbage leaves, finely chopped. I carried that head of cabbage around for a week before finding someone who wanted to take it off my hands. 3 green onions, very thinly sliced. 3 cloves of garlic, finely chopped. The 40% of you that are subscribers will notice that I'm chopping instead of using a garlic press after the chicken kebab episode. I'm grating about an inch of ginger here. The grater is only slightly easier to clean than a garlic press, but just easier enough. 1 pound of ground pork gets mixed with the veggies and massaged thoroughly to make a pasty consistency that binds together. Then we add 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt, 1/2 teaspoon of sugar, and again, incorporate until completely mixed together. Now the tedious part. Stuff each wonton wrapper individually with a pinch of meat. Dip your finger in a bowl of water, moisten the edge of the wrapper, fold together, and set aside for cooking. Lather, rinse, repeat until all the gyoza are prepared. With the dumplings ready to cook, it's time to make a dipping sauce. On this channel, we realize that sometimes failures do happen. Well, this is one of those days. Ignore everything you are seeing on the screen for the sauce. It was a disaster. I finally got something pretty darn tasty by adding various things I had with me until it worked, but there's no recipe to point to. So here's a better one. 1/2 cup white vinegar, 3/4 cup water, 5 cloves garlic minced, 1/4 cup lime juice, 1/4 cup honey, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon sesame oil, 1 teaspoon red pepper flakes, 1 teaspoon of ginger. Put everything in a pot and boil for 5 minutes. Then take 4 teaspoons of cornstarch and 1 tablespoon of water, mix together, and add to the mix to thicken things up. Finally, time to cook the meal. On our propane stove goes a little bit of oil into a frying pan. Use a sliver of onion to make sure the oil is nice and hot. And the gyoza go in. Once the bottoms are browned, we add some water and cover to steam the wrappers and assure the meat is cooked completely through. Then the taste test. The dumplings themselves were super tasty, exactly what I hoped for. The garlic and onion added great texture and aroma, and everything was cooked perfectly. I'm glad you enjoyed this one. I know I did. If you like dishes like this that require some time to prepare, try watching my Coq au vin episode. If you want something simpler, check out the Smash Burgers episode with the Haunted Schoolhouse. And lastly, if you want unmatched natural beauty, hit subscribe to be alerted when the next episode drops and I fly to Nokai Dome in the Canyonlands of Utah to make a ribeye that was unmatched by any I've had before.